I'm busy right now. Oh, hey, how's it going? I guess you guys have wanted to know a little bit about the directions we're headed this year. Let's take a look. Sonia asked me to talk about areas 1 and 4, so let's talk about those. The first one is recognizing student learning. Recognizing student learning really comes in a lot of forms, but it's really important to us that we start recognizing student learning in ways that are relevant to BC students. And so the first thing that we're going to do in that area is badges and micro-credentials. Badges and micro-credentials really aren't that complicated, and they're not really a lot of extra for us. Really, badges and micro-credentials are all about taking the assessment work that we already do and helping students understand that assessment work and helping them by providing them with a student record that's higher resolution, that's more relevant, and that belongs to them. Credit for prior learning. Credit for prior learning is all about recognizing the learning that students have already done before they come to BC. And in doing so, we allow them to advance toward completion in a much more direct way without repeating stuff that they already know. Competency-based learning is something that is really being explored seriously at the state level. We're going to start looking at some of the ways that we can explore competency-based learning for some of our programs here at BC. And then finally, we really want to talk about how can we make our assessment of learning more authentic. In other words, we don't want to be looking at proxy measures for student learning. We want to be looking at student learning in the context where it really matters. And a lot of that involves assessment of student learning in the situation that most directly mirrors the situation that they're going to be using it in the future. So if they're a welding student, we want to assess their actual ability to weld. If they're a biology student, we want to assess their ability to conduct experiments in the field, and so on. So authentic assessment of student learning is another area that we're really looking at. The area 4 is humanizing learning. Some of you have had a taste of this already, but what we really want to do at BC is bring in a more human aspect to the learning that students are doing. In other words, we really want students to feel connected, to feel like their learning experience is very human and very hands-on and very connected with other people. One of these areas is equity-based teaching practices, and we're going to be talking a lot about this year. We really want to pay attention to the students that are coming to us and the things that they bring, their cultural experience, their cultural context, and how can we provide teaching that's relevant to them where they're at using the experiences that they already have. One of these ways is called universal design. And without getting into the details of universal design is a way of developing course materials that will work for everybody, whether it's an accessibility issue, whether it's a cultural issue, or whether there are other experiences that the student brings to the table that are important to them. Universal design allows us to develop courses that are immediately relevant to the student and that meet their needs right where they're at. Seeing the individual in the crowd is something we've talked about at BC for quite a while. It's really about taking the 37,000 students that we have and allowing students, individuals, to be seen in that huge crowd of people and feel seen and feel recognized for who they are. And finally, understanding the role of emotional intelligence in teaching. A lot of times we get into this pattern of teaching where we view teaching and learning as sort of this transfer of knowledge, when in reality, teaching and learning are really about identity shifts and about becoming something else. And so when we work with our students, as we work with them in the classroom, and we work with them in student support services and academic support services and all the other services that we provide our students, we really want them to feel seen, and we really want them to be recognized as the individuals that they are and allowed to flourish in that way. And then finally, it's just a simple act of connection. This semester we're going to be online. In the spring, there's a likely chance that we'll be online again. But we want to make sure that no matter what we do, that we're putting effort into connecting with our students, and making those meaningful connections with them will allow us to really reach them on a different level. And it'll allow us to help them to become the person that they want to be. And really, in education, it's really comes down to helping our students become the best version of themselves. And so helping them see that, helping them envision that, and then helping them feel like they've got a support network of people around them, starting with their faculty, and then the support faculty and staff around them, and everybody at Bakersfield College, in our Bakersfield College community, coming together to support students. So those are the areas that we're really concerned with this year.